Hi guys, I'm June. I'm the owner of this apartment and I have actually engaged the services of Marcus in my recent transactions. So I first knew Marcus about half a year ago. At that point of time, I was really window shopping, looking at some of the listings in the development which I was particularly interested in at that point of time. I did check out like many listings on the websites, and then Marcus was the one who actually really came back to me with very sincere responses. And after meeting up with him, he actually provided me with very sincere and deep thinking analogies, addresses my questions and doubts, analyze the pros and cons of how I should, structure my timeline in terms of purchase and sale. Thereafter, I really find him to be really sincere and upfront, and that's why I actually engaged the services of Marcus in an exclusive agreement. Despite, I believe many of us would have friends or families that are actually real estate salesperson as well, but that goes to show the extent of trust that I actually have in Marcus. Purchasing or selling your property is probably one of the most important moves that many of us would make. So you would want to probably find someone that is actually trustworthy, yet at the same time, street smart enough to actually represent you in the negotiations with potential buyers or sellers. So a good mix and balance is what you should be looking out for from a real estate salesperson. So I actually find that Marcus actually fits this criteria which I have set for myself in terms of bringing a really good mix and balance to the table. So rather than prioritizing his own interests, Marcus always focus on your needs and priorities. By the way, I'm actually someone who is really interested in real estate, so I would think that I'm pretty familiar with the rules and terms and conditions and things like that. But regardless, and what Marcus really impressed me was his attention to detail, elaborating and explaining thoroughly on the terms and conditions in the contracts and agreements before my endorsement. So for someone who is actually not so familiar with the complexities involved in either your home purchase or sale, I would recommend he or she to approach the help of Marcus, and whom I actually believe that he will be accompanying you throughout the journey. So I'm sure many of you out there have encountered agents or real estate salesperson that provided you with slipshod responses, or perhaps attempting to tie you down right after viewing a particular unit itself. But that is definitely not the case for Marcus. He's not focusing on the short-term gains by tying you down to an immediate deal, but rather, really looking at your priorities and objectives. For my case, for example, what Marcus, I wouldn't say what Marcus did, but what Marcus didn't do, in fact, was to really, put myself in a situation whereby I commit to a purchase. Marcus actually planned out the path structurally and advised me accordingly not to set any unnecessary pitfalls for myself. So I really appreciate, for his guidance in terms of avoiding some of the pitfalls that were potentially there.